filming me?
Well, I'm practicing.
You're practicing?
Yeah, I'm finding out how much the camera loves your face.
Oh, yeah.
So do you mind if I ask you a question?
No, go right ahead.
You were kind of surprised by this one, weren't you?
Oh, yeah.
How fast did it come on?
A couple days.
A couple of days. And
amazing, yeah.
Can you describe what happened in a sort of a short timeline there?
Yeah, I started having pains under my arms and across my chest and in my breast, and it was just tingling and burning sensation. And then when I finally went to the emergency room on New Year's night, later that night when I came home, the nipple withdrew into the breast, and it was all in red and swollen and scared me to death. It just got huge. It got big and it got hard, just like a rock. It was so hard. And then when the nipple pulled in, it was just scared me so bad. So I went and had a mammogram.
The mammogram revealed a large spiculated mass with nipple retraction and skin thickening, consistent with inflammatory breast carcinoma, a finding confirmed the next day by ultrasound, which also revealed a left axillary lymph node, barbell-shaped, 2.3 centimeters in its largest dimension. The skin overlying the breast was seen to have the consistency of an orange peel. An MRI conducted in Mexico clearly demonstrated this skin thickening and the underlying lobular tumor, and an excision biopsy confirmed lobular infiltrating carcinoma of the breast.
You know, I go back and look at the pictures because it's been a year now and you kind of forget how that was. You know, you've forgotten how that all felt. But you look at the pictures and yeah, it was just red and it hurt.
You had a name for it.
Angry boob. I guess you can't say that on camera, but that's what, you know, we used to laugh about and call it the angry boob because it was angry. You know, they try to scare you by saying, you have to have this done right now. And that's what they do. They say, well, we have to schedule you right away. You have to have surgery right away. And you have an inflammatory breast cancer, but they don't say it's going to kill you. They just say,
really?
You know, we're going to do surgery. This is what we're going to do. We're going to do surgery, and then, you know, probably chemotherapy. And I said, well, what if it comes back? Well, then we'll do more chemotherapy. I said, I don't think so.
How long did your mom live with inflammatory breast cancer?
She lived about 6 months.
6 months?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I had intratumoral injections from the time I got there, probably the second day, maybe, or third, right away. Right away I started having Coley's injections in the breast. And it was tough, but it wasn't that terrible. I knew I had to do it. Oh my. Well, with a bad one, it would start out that you would start shaking. You would get cold, and at first your hands and your feet would feel like they were just freezing. And you'd put on gloves and socks, and you got where you had a routine of how you put on all these clothes. And you'd crawl into bed as soon as you could get there because you were shaking so hard that you could hardly get in there. And you'd crawl into bed and you'd get hot pads, you know, about 2 or 3 of them down the bed for your feet and everything. And you'd wear, when I got home, I got long johns to put on. And you'd get into bed and you'd start shaking, just uncontrollable shaking. Plus your teeth would be chattering. And sometimes the nurse would lay over the top of me because I would just be shaking so hard. And so you get in there and you shake to death, and then maybe, you know, you hallucinate a little and don't remember what's going on. And you can jump into bed as fast as possible. Sometimes you vomit. Sometimes you get diarrhea. And then you try to you know, get in the bathroom when you're freezing to death. That's fun. And the toilet seat is always cold. You know how that goes. But anyway, I came home, let's see, that I've been at CHPSA a couple months, almost 2 months, I think. And I came back to Spokane to stay with Darla so she could give me my intratumoral shots. And when I came back home, I finally found a doctor. It took a long time because you can't find anyone to work with you when you get back. You call every doctor that you can think of, and they'll say, I'm sorry, we can't take you as a patient. You know, we don't know anything about that protocol that you're doing, and so we can't help you. Even if you say, well, I don't want you to address that, I just want you to be able to get me, to order me scans and things like that that I need, you know, to send off. And they won't even do that. But I finally found an oncologist that agreed to see me. And he did got all the paperwork from Mexico, and he did a PET scan and a workup on me. Then I went in, and he said, well, you had an inflammatory breast cancer, but you don't have one now, but you still have a tumor in there. And so he could tell from the new pictures that the inflammatory part was gone, totally gone. So now I just have a tumor that I'm addressing and continuing to do the diet and the protocol that I'm supposed to do to try and get rid of that completely. But I feel really good.
The PET-CT scan of April 16th was encouraging. Although characteristic skin thickening was observed on the CT side of the scan, the PET side revealed that no malignant metabolism persisted in the skin. In a disease that spreads in diffuse sheets to metastasize early and aggressively, not one distant cancer deposit was seen. All that remained was a single lobular tumor of which only a part was still active.
I spend a lot of time doing coffee enemas, and then Ken does all my juicing. So, and I really feel I would not be here if I hadn't gone to Mexico and started the vaccine and done the treatment. I think I'd be gone. I think I'd be history, a great happy hunting ground.